Hello everybody, Sorbitten here and welcome back to another past paper practice video. In this video, I will be tackling some multiple choice type questions. So let's not waste any time, let's head straight into the first question. So this question says, the item refers to the following diagram of a triangle PQR in which L is the midpoint of PR and OP is equal to A and OR is equal to B. So it says PL expressed in terms of A and B is, so we want to find QL. So in order for us to get QL, we see QL is simply half of PR. So we can simply find for PR and then we can just half it, multiply it by half or divide it by 2. So let's find PL. So we see in order for us to find PL, we can just find PR. And then we know L is the midpoint of PR. So we can find PR and then just half it and that will give us PL. So let's find PR first of all. So PR is equal to vector PR is equal to, we can go from P to Q plus, and then we can go from Q to R. So Q to R, P to Q. So we know PQ is, so we know QP is A, so that means PQ will be a negative A plus, and we know QR is B. So we know this here, we know PR will be negative A plus B. And we can shift this around and say we can call it B minus A because we don't like the negatives in front here. So remember, PL is half of PR. So all we can say is PL, vector PL will be equal to B minus A all divided by 2. So B minus A all divided by 2, that would simply give us B as the answer. So that one there is B. So we just needed to do some application and think about the question. So next question says, item refers to the following parallelogram W, Y, Z. In the parallelogram, R is the midpoint of X, Y. So R is the midpoint of here, between these two. So let's see what they're asking us. So based on the information above, ZR is, so ZR, go from Z to R. So we see ZR is, so let's go through the options to see. So ZR, let's see, WX. So WX plus half of WZ, half of WZ, half of that, WZ. WX is parallel to ZY. So WX is parallel to ZY. So let's see. ZY, we can move from Z and then go to Y. And then it said half of WZ. So half of WZ, so you're moving from this point to this point, so no, that can't work. You have to move from this point here and go to that direction if you want to go along that trade. So let's go the other one. So this one is out. So let's go WX, so WX. So WX can work, so let's see, WX minus half WZ. So minus half WZ, so if it was plus WZ, so plus WZ would be going from here to here or from here into that direction. But because it's minusing, it flips. So it will go from here to here, half of that. So half of that will take us here. So this one is the most plausible one so far. So let's go through the other options just to make sure we are 100% correct. So let's go. This one says half of WX. So WX is here. So we know this would be the same thing as here. So halfway here will take us here. So we know that that will not take us anywhere. So we know this one is out. So let's go half of WX again. So we know that this one is out as well. So the answer here is simply B. WX minus half of WZ. Why is this the answer? Let's go into one more time. WX will be from here to here. We're going in that direction. And because WX is parallel to here, so we can say it's the same as ZR would be the same as equal to ZY plus, and it says half of WX. So WX, so it says half of WZ. So WZ would move from here to here. So if you were to add that, that would make much sense because we move from here to here. But because of this minus, we flip it. We're moving from here to here. So it says half of that, which will take us right by R. So indeed, this is the answer, B. So this one is a bit tricky, a bit complicated, but as long as you reason it out, you will get the answer. So the next question says, the item refers to the following parallelogram, WXYZ. In the parallelogram, XY is equal to U and XW is equal to V. R is the midpoint of YZ. So WR expressed in terms of U and V is, so they want WR. So WR would be right here. So WR. So let's go. How can we move from W to R? So we can say WR would be equal to, so we can move from WZ plus ZR. So let's see which one of these here we can get. So WZ, we know these two lines are parallel. So WZ would be U. So we can say this would be U plus, and we know ZR would be half of ZY. So we know that would be half of WX. So we know WX would be a negative V. So half of a negative V would give us that. So plus negative half V. So this would be U minus, because these two signs will cancel out, minus half V. So U minus half V, that would be U minus half B, that would be A as the answer. So with that, this has brought me to the end of this video. I trust that this video brought some clarity as it relates to vectors questions and how to tackle them, how to tackle these kinds of questions. So I want you to keep practicing these. That is the only way you will become good at them. So I will see you in the next video, in which I will be tackling some more multiple choice type questions under a different topic and possibly some more questions under this topic. So until then, keep practicing. Take care.